How you doing, guys? BC90 here with the next video in my Poise showcase, focusing on different setups that take advantage of the overhauled Poise mechanics in Dark Souls 3. Today we'll be looking at the Great Club. Now, a while ago in one of my previous videos I mentioned I would be respecking my character to focus on strength so I could show off these great hammers and other strength focused weapons such as the Fume Ultra Greatsword. I haven't done that yet, as you can see. I'm still got the same stats I had in my first video. I just have a little bit more strength there because I am equipping the Knight's Ring. But I couldn't resist, guys. I was playing around with this Great Club yesterday and I had so much fun with it. I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a quick video on it anyway. But I will be doing a follow-up video to this later down the track with my stats optimized, focusing on strength so we can get the most out of this beast weapon. Anyways, going over to our equipment page, we've got the Heavy Great Club plus 10. Now, in my opinion, I think going for the heavy infusion for this weapon is the only way to go, as you get the A scaling in strength there at the bottom. And looking at our stats there, for the optimized version I will have in my future videos, I'll probably be min-maxing strength and dexterity, so having dexterity at its base stat for the knight class, and putting those extra points in strength. Looking to have at least 40 points in strength to get the most out of this weapon. So if you're looking to have a great hammer as your main weapon in a Poise build, I would suggest you focus solely on strength, as you will get the most damage output out of these particular weapons. So, Heavy Great Club plus 10, it is a great hammer, so we're looking to consecutively hyper armor through every single weapon in the game, including other great hammers. And in order to do that, we need to spec to have at least 45.85 base poise to be able to consecutively hyper armor through every single weapon in the game. Looking at our poise there, we're at 46.54, so I have play tested this already, and I can safely say that using a great hammer as your main weapon in this setup allows you to consecutively hyper armor through everything, absolutely everything in the game, which is incredible. Now, going back to the equipment page there, as I've mentioned before, I like versatility in my weapon selection, so I still have the sharp notch whip, the knight's crossbow, and the blessed cestus there. I'm still wearing the havels armor here to get the best poise values for this particular setup, for all my setups really. And I've got the Alva helm here. So the Alva helm is the same helm I used for the Lothric Greatsword setup. And really this particular setup here keeps our weight ratio below 70%, and we still have a lot of viability in options here to deal with different threats. Now, looking at my ring selection, I've removed the Ring of Favour plus 2 for the Knight's Ring in order to be able to wield this Great Club. As I mentioned before, when I redo this video and continue doing videos focusing on strength weapons for this Poise setup, the Ring of Favour plus 2 will come back into this ring slot, as I will have my strength optimized then. We still have the Sun Princess ring here to stack with our Blessed Cestus, so we get that HP regen to help us continue trading effectively and coming out with those narrow victories, and also the Chloranthy ring plus 2 and the Havels ring plus 2. So without further ado, I'm going to go straight into the arena with this weapon, and let's see if we can showcase what it can do. So like I mentioned before, guys, you're looking at a poise breakpoint of 45.85 with a great hammer to be able to consecutively hyper armor through every single weapon in the game, including other great hammers, which in my opinion is the optimal poise setup you can have if you're looking for those consecutive trades with every weapon in the game. I probably prefer Ultra Great Swords, even though the base poise breakpoint that you do need to trade with everything is quite high. So my previous builds focused on trading with everything except great hammers, but great hammers are still awesome. They're still extremely viable. And as you can see, even though we're not optimized here, we're doing a shitload of damage, guys. Look at that. Unbelievable. Now, I forgot to showcase how much AR we're actually doing with this particular setup, so I'll go and show that now once we get back to filing Shrine. But yeah, look, when you're using a great hammer and you've optimized your stats to focus on strength, you can really kill people in 2 to 3 hits. to be completely honest with you. 2 to 3 hits and it's game over. So these things are absolutely fearsome to fight against, and they're absolutely awesome to use, guys, to be honest. Awesome to use. So we'll go over to our status page again. We're looking at 560 AR here, two-handed. Like I said, if we spec for strength, this AR will increase. I'm not sure what the max AR this weapon can do is yet, but in my future videos where I do optimize for this particular weapon and other great hammers, I will be able to showcase the maximum AR you can get out of it. Now 560 is still respectable, and when we do infuse that with human pine resin here, we're looking at 655, which is pretty good. It's not bad, you know, and I mean, we're focused on consecutively hyper armoring through other weapons, so you're looking to get those trades. So we'll go back into the arena again. Now the weapon art for this particular weapon is your war cry. Remember, war cry will cancel out your weapon buffs with resin, so keep that in mind. It does increase your AR, a little bit. I'm not quite sure if it was, 10, 15, or 20 AR or something that Warcry increases. And the thing that it does do is it changes up the R2 with this particular weapon. So I'll showcase that after this match. Oh, that was a nice kick there. Gotta watch out for that Avalon there. Oh, got us with some explosive bolts there. As I said, unbelievable weapon in my opinion. It just hits so hard, honestly. 2 to 3 hits and it's game over. So I'll show you the particular attacks this weapon has now when we're back at Firelink. In my opinion, I think the Great Club is the superior option to the Large Club. Mainly because the Great Club has, greater range and it does a bit more damage. So you're looking at your R1s here, lots of range in them, a bit slow, so you've got to make sure you time them correctly. The R2 is this awesome sweep here, which also can be charged. Now this sweep is probably the best attack this weapon has in my opinion, because it does catch opponents off guard. It has a lot more range than initially it looks like it has, which is awesome. And now Warcry, which is the weapon art. So it does increase our AR a little bit, so we're at 614, which is pretty good. And it changes up our R2 attack to this. Now in my opinion, I don't think in PvP, you'd be using this attack too much, because it does leave you wide open in my opinion. Unless you're 100% certain you can get that attack in, I would probably not use it too much in PvP. Alrighty, we'll go straight to the next match here, guys. Like I said at the start of this video, the Great Club is just awesome fun to use, guys. Awesome fun. Okay, so it looks like our opponent there has a spear. Now, just like Ultra Great Swords that I've mentioned in my previous videos, I think spears are a bit of a bad matchup for us. Mainly because they do outrange us, and they are a lot quicker. But we are definitely not afraid of trading here, as this weapon is most likely going to outdamage pretty much everything else in the game when spec'd for strength. So don't be afraid to trade with pretty much everything, guys. You will most likely come out on top. Now, like I mentioned before, I do like the versatility in my builds to have different options to deal with different threats. That's why I have the Cestus, the crossbow, and the whip equipped. But as you can see here, the Great Club, if your opponent doesn't know how to space you properly and doesn't know how to, attack, to look for openings and attack you, in between your attacks, you really don't need to use those other weapons, guys. As long as you get your 2 to 3 hits in, or you go in there and trade with your opponent. If they, obviously don't know they can't trade with you, the Great Club itself is more than enough to carry you through, guys. So I might wrap up this video there. I just wanted to keep it short and sweet today, just to showcase the Great Club in action. It is an amazing weapon in my opinion for your Poise builds, and if you want to look for those consecutive hyper armor trades with every single weapon in the game, Great Hammers are the way to go, as the Poise breakpoint is easily achievable in my opinion, and you're going to have a lot of fun using it. So as I mentioned before, I will be redoing this video in the future, and I'll update the Great Club to spec for the highest amount of AR it can possibly do, focusing on strength, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, if you like this video, hit the like button, guys. If you're starting to enjoy my content, please subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.